Thank you for joining me. This is Darshini In Spirit, and I have to put this statement out there, and that is that I'm giving you, sharing with you all kinds of predictions that I see. People who don't know me, you can go and check how I read. I do not go through guides. I'm going through pure energy, and that is how I read, and that's why my readings are totally different. And my predictions. So I don't need you to believe me. I just want to share information with you to be proactive. But I do want to stress here that I do not want you to believe anything I say in any video I put out, because it is up to you. It is not our life. It is your life. It is your life to live and go through. You make your decisions. We do not make those decisions. Even in my readings, I tell this constantly to my clients, that it is your decisions. I'm here as a guide. I can tell you in the future what the future is, what you are now, what's going through, and hopefully that does come true, because it's your decision. If you decide to backtrack or change it completely, it's not my decision. It is your decision. But I want you to go and check your facts, especially when I'm doing the video on the cooking class and all the healing foods for anti-inflammatory food intake, and also to build your immunity up and immune system. So I want you to go and check that. Check with your doctor and everything else. It is crucial that you do, especially if you have any kind of medical condition. Also, please, a lot of you are not going to like this, what I'm going to say, and I did say it later on in the video, and that is, please, Dr. Fauci, what they're trying to do is correct. Please try and get a vaccine. I did the vaccine. I don't know how many people who really did not want to. I just explained what my view is. Others, I told them to check. Don't overthink it. I did not have any reaction. Nobody that I knew had any reaction to it. And I have given later on, just quickly, a friend of mine who's a nurse told me, drink lots of water before, the day of your vaccine, and take a Tylenol. Rest the whole day, if not 2 days, and let the vaccine work. Don't overdo it. And there are obviously people who are allergic to, have allergies or other things wrong with them medically, that can't take it, and I can understand. But there are people who are quite well, and it is up to your decision to make that decision, not me. Again, for the masks, Fauci is right. Wear a mask. It is very, very important. You breathe in. Your lungs, with this new infection, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, it's going to go through your lungs. It's going to shred your lungs practically. It's going to compromise your breathing, compromise your heart. And they're going to be far more long haulers than they were with the Delta strain and the original strain. So if you want to live with that, that's fine. That is your decision. But be proactive. That's all we're asking, Spirit and I, is just be proactive. You are too precious. You, the individual, are too precious. Whatever your views are, whatever your politics, whatever your religion, it doesn't matter. You are too precious on this earth. You and your children and your community are too precious to lose. So think about that, and think about what happens if you lose, if something happens to you. What happens to your children? Have you made provisions for them? What happens to them if you go? So please think about what the after effects are, and then you'll be a bit more, not responsible. You are being responsible, but you don't overthink things, okay? And I know I'm going to get slammed. I'm sure I'm going to get negative comments with this, but please listen to your intuition, not too much logic, and not the wild spread rubbish that's out there, and conspiracy theories and everything else. okay? And think about all the people who have boo-hooed the vaccines and masks, and who have already, the senators, radio hosts that have actually got COVID, saying there's no such thing. And there it is, it's coming in. It'll come back to bite us, but not everyone will get this if you're being cautious about it and proactive. All right, so here's the main video. Sorry for the lecture, but then again, I'm not really sorry. People who know me and my clients know me, I'm not really sorry. So it's up to the individual. There are alternative therapies, but not with Clorox and God knows what else. Do your research. Do your research and your due diligence, and you'll know what you can live with afterwards. There are a lot of other alternative therapies, but quite frankly, it's hard to get hold of them in different countries. All right, and I understand that. So do what is best for you now. Otherwise, isolate yourself. And that's all I can give you on advice for that. Okay, here's the main video. Take care, blessings, love and light. Take care, bye. Hello, this is Darshini In Spirit, and this is actually September 8th, 2021. And I'm giving you another coronavirus update, which I should have done much earlier than this, but it's been pretty bad for me. It's been running around, and anyway, you don't need to hear all of that. But I'm going to cover something that's already in the news, which I have been telling my clients since March this year, that there was going to be another one that you have to be careful about. And that's going to be quite virulent, more or less equal to the Delta strain. So let me give you some details of what I've been seeing. Before I actually get into the details, if I would just like to go over a few details from the previous videos that unfortunately that did come true. As of today, it's estimated at 250,000 children have been infected with COVID, which I had given the prediction last October in my predictions, October or November, in one of those dates, and warned people all over the world that this was going to be true. So basically, this strain, the Delta's been going through, but we're going to talk about the new strain. So unfortunately, the thing about the kids have come true. I am very, very worried about the children. Whether you believe it or not, I see, if my predictions have been coming true, which they have been, apparently, mostly, and that masks do help. You are breathing it in. Yes, there's eyes, but quite frankly, it's the lungs I'm concerned about, because this new strain is going to be quite nasty that I see. So please, even though you may not believe in masks, I'm just imploring you, you have your rights, obviously, everybody. We are not meant to tell you what to do. We are only there as a guide. And please think about protecting your children. If not, you don't believe yourself. But masks do, KN95s, if you can't afford the N95 masks. So that is going to be quite a nasty winter they're coming into. The other thing is that the September projection is obviously here. It's been now announced, but I thought I better put this video. I'm sure I put it in the other video. If I didn't, I apologize. But I have been telling all my private clients this and warning them. So around about 16th, which is next week, September, I had put that it'll start gathering speed, this new variant. And it's not just one variant, and I hate to say it, there are about 17 that I see. You'll see this strain rearing its ugly head. 17 to 18 other mutations is a good word, variations on the COVID-19 strain. I don't see if this is going to be accurate 18. It's kind of a mid-scale, to be honest. It could be as high as 35, but most of those strains are not going to be virulent and aggressive. The one that I'm worried about is this one strain that's coming in. There are actually two strains coming in that I see. That is one, again, will originate from Asia, but quite frankly, there's another one that's coming in from mid-Europe, Central Europe, and that's the one that's going to be quite bad, and is also, both of them going to be, the one from Asia is going to be more prominent and noticeable by May and June of next year. So I'm not going to touch that one at the moment. The strain that we're looking at the moment that they're really worried about is I can describe it best is there is a foundation for COVID-19, like a template, and on this foundation there are 4 points on the template. Just follow me, please. I'm trying to describe it, and there are 3 of those points which I'll elaborate in a minute, but the main one point is what the signs that I feel that you're going to really see proliferate in fall this year, and that is coming up by, it's now here, but quite frankly getting worse by November. It's flu. It obviously has the same identity of flu, like symptoms, but in a worse way, and it will kill, I'm afraid. Temperatures are going to exceed 106 and upwards, and the resultant effect of damaging internal organs. So I am worried about that, because this high fever, which is going to be more, other than pronounced, but more aggressive, it's going to be hard for the doctors to actually bring it down and control it. It'll affect the brain, which is what I'm really worried about, because it's the brain is maybe tough, quite frankly, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not here, as I said in the previous little section. Don't believe anything I say. You have to go check your facts. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing for the future and what this particular variant is covering. And it is something where it is having high fever, and these fevers will last from anything from 2 weeks, which is excessive to have a high temperature, to even 6. There's some going to be having breathing problems, because it's going to move to the second point in the template, which is the lungs, and the third I see point being that it's confusion, fogginess, and that is related really to the brain injury, where it's deteriorating certain brain cells, and I see the brain with inflammation. Now with the fourth point, new point here, it is going to be far more affected with the stomach issues. So we're literally going through the body from head to, not exactly head to toe, but head to mid-chest. And the stomach issues, what I'm seeing is you're seeing vomiting, throwing up more with the children from 8 until upwards, right through to senior citizens, which I'm really afraid of, because they're going to suffer from diarrhea, throwing up, lack of fluids, which I'm really, really concerned. Pedialyte, they need to drink water, which I don't blame them. It's hard to drink water sometimes. In England, we used to not put, I don't know if they still do it now, but when I grew up in England, we didn't have fluoride in it, so it was palatable, but now you got fluoride. So anyway, try and drink the water. So that's what I'm worried about, with more or less the base points, the 4 points of the new virus that I see. As always, and I say, as always, this is what I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I certainly don't care that I am wrong. I really don't care about that. It's nothing to do with that. But I hate to say it, I've been more or less on track with all of these things, unfortunately. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of confusion and thinking it's stomach flu and not associated with or relational to the with any kind of relationship with the COVID-19, which I'm really worried because it is a spin-off and not exactly a side product or a deviant from it. It is a different strain, a mutation, which a lot of you don't agree. Well, there are people out there, not a lot of you, who listen to me, but there are people out there who don't like Dr. Fauci, but quite frankly, I think he's spot on. He is quite a good backbone and honesty with this. He is not inflating these facts. He's giving you reports of what it is out there with the actual virus. So this will last and spread to many other countries, and we're going through it in America now. Okay, just quickly in America, it's going to spread to all the states. It's already spreading on top of the Delta, but quite frankly, it's going to be a secondary infection to what this other strain is. You'll see far more of its virus makeup by the end of November in America. More concentrations in New York, high populated areas, Texas, New York, some kind of mid-states because they're having more events that are with large numbers. Those ones, California, see in Oregon, Florida is a huge. I'm seeing it just spread through like wildfire, and I'm really worried about that because there are a lot of senior citizens there who have retired. So again, isolation, being far more aware, wearing a mask, watching it, what you eat, building your immunity up. And I know I promised last year that I would do a little cooking class, and I'm going to try my best. I myself got ill. I did not get COVID. I had actually just a horrible cold, and I got it like 4 times as much as it should have been. So I'm just recovering, so I apologize for sounding a bit nasal here. But anyway, basically you need to be protective. I'll try and do the video and give you all kinds of immunity boosting natural foods, natural ways to increase your protection and also your breathing. And that's important because your lungs are going to be compromised. Hence, everything comes down to your liver, which I'll try and cover as well in the whole video. It'll be a long one, or I'll try and section it into different categories. But the main part will be to offer you a quick 20-minute cooking recipe with some really healthy food that anybody could get, okay? So back to America. I am worried about that. Yes, your rights are there that you could go ahead and do whatever you want, not wear a mask, but there are people who are advocating don't wear a mask and they're getting COVID. So you know what, or not even getting the injection. I did get the injection. I will publicly tell you that. I did not have any effects. A dear friend of mine who's been a nurse 40 years has told me to, if you are getting any vaccines or booster shots, follow the advice that she gave me, and I did. Drink a lot of water the day before and especially the day of, and that means it's hydrating your body and having a better receptacle for the vaccine to work. Also take a Tylenol if you're allowed to, if your doctors allow you to, in the morning before you get the injection. Do not do what somebody I had told, go and get the injection. Well, I didn't tell them. They went and got the injection, but they didn't listen when I said go rest. You need to rest afterwards. But she went and went to a garage sale, went here, went there, went all over, and then she slammed down. So if you're not allowing the vaccine to take proper effect, you need to rest. And it's not being selfish, it's being kind to your body and your future. And you do not want to get slammed down with it, any kind of after effects. But that's the only reason. Everybody else who has taken it that I know has not had any side effects. So again, trust your instincts and your intuition. If you need to, talk to a doctor. And yes, there are people who have had a reaction. Those with strong allergic reactions and other things. So do your homework. Do not trust anything I say. Do not believe anything I say. Go to your doctor and trust them, okay? Please. So, I'm going back to California. I'm kind of a bit of a hodgepodge here, but what I'm seeing is East Coast at every point coming in, around and about that. Chicago, Midwest, as I said. East Coast concentration is Boston, New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and I told you Miami, Florida, obviously, Louisiana, not as bad, but still Texas is going to get hit, Midwest, and I said Montana, and a few others, Idaho, bad, California, finally, it's more in the northern states, and San Diego gets hit badly too, as well as LA, obviously. These are concentrations, badly in Nevada, and that's Las Vegas, surrounding areas, but not as bad as Vegas. Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, Mexico's, New Mexico, and going down, I might as well go down to Mexico City, the Baja Peninsula, Mexico City, South America, Chile, and all the countries there, but it's really not in the outskirts. But if it gets to small villages, it spreads widely because they are such a strong community that they do keep on going. They keep on protecting all their community. So be careful of anything, all right? Let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. The timeline now being that in September it'll run through and right through October, November into December, where it's kind of, it doesn't exactly stall before Christmas, but it looks like it decreases slightly. Then it starts again in mid-January, about, really not even mid, around about the 8th, 7th or 8th of January into February, March. And it seems that, that it just keeps on going through on that one. And I'll say that it goes through May. By just about the end of May, you'll see a kind of slight spike. Then it goes down again. By July, it'll start calming down for the summer months. But I'm worried because there's another strain coming in March, which I'll put out another video later. But if this doesn't clear, in other words, with the vaccines, the boosters, and that we are not aware of what we're doing and taking care of our bodies, what I'm worried about is the youth. The youth of the children, and from really now babies, even though the ones that are going to be more in the line of fire would be from the 8-year-olds, the younger children. They're getting used to a protocol of the masks, but it's more strong-willed that they're not taking care. And that's 8 through about, I'd say 35, but 28, where they're not really thinking and partying and still going around and not being vaccinated and not taking care and being a mask and aware, but they're carrying it back to their homes, and that is the crime here, and the sadness that they could be infecting and killing their own family, and that is what I'm worried about. And I know this is a harder hitting video than I usually put out, but I'm more worried about the elderly. Okay? So this cycle will continue, I'm sorry to say, but it's more about keeping hydrated, flushing it out of your system, being far more, how can I say this, virulent, as I said, about feeding your body the right nutrients. And I said I will do my best to do this video on the food and the immune system later, and it's a cooking lesson. Hopefully this will help everybody. I'm going to cover in this next section, not America, it'll be later around the world a bit more, but I'm sorry if I am, and I'm hopefully not scaring people, but just as the people who do follow me and have seen that sadly a lot of the predictions have come true, that this will come into being. On a side note, and I am sorry about the fires in America, all the fires I had predicted, I haven't checked how many have come true, but it's practically across a lot of states. The flooding is again across the states. The lightning, and I'll put up the lightning one. I warned people about this new type of lightning, that it's so intense. It's a different kind of lightning, and I can actually speak for it to myself, and I'll put this in another video for the lightning separately. But we had lightning where I am, and it literally recorded, and we've got this outside very accurate weather station, and it recorded within 24 hours 1935 lightning strikes in 24 hours. And that was so unusual. We got flooding, which we never get, hardly ever get. I've never seen flooding here where I am. And torrential storms, one described it like an EF2 hurricane here, or a tornado, being a tornado number 2. It was, that's AF2, sorry, that's a tornado, but a hurricane at force 2, but EF2, and it destroyed a lot of downtown. So these kind of unusual weathers will continue. I will try and do my best, everyone, to do my predictions. I wasn't going to do it, to be honest. I didn't think anybody was listening or really wanted to hear all of this, but if I do get feedback, I'll try and do the predictions in the next month or so for next year, for the world and for America, North America, Canada, obviously, etc. But hopefully that will help if people are interested. I don't know anymore, to be honest. And again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here as a guide, and there's a lot of other predictions that I'll cover later. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next section, which is really more on Canada and a few other cities, and we'll talk about the rest in another video. Thanks for joining me on this one. This section, I'm just going to quickly cover Canada, and I'm seeing it heavily in Toronto, somewhat in Montreal, and it's really because of the denser populations. It is getting to certain select little townships, communities outside Montreal and Toronto, but it's near the Great Lakes. It's opening up. They've tried to control it, but I'm really worried about this new strain, as I said, especially from Chicago. Not that it can jump water, but I am worried about that in that section. So I did cover the rest there. I am worried that the strain at the end of May, that's coming in from China more, not China, but really Asia, China, Japan actually being prominent, and these huge, that Thailand, Malaysia are not as bad, but they still are going to have the spread, and will spread rapidly within 6 to 8 weeks. and will be prominent again, I hate to say, in India, which is already still under the strain of the previous virus, that all the byproducts happened. So this strain in May, at the end of May, is going to be far more more pronounced in Asia than in America. And it's going to be traveling around there, India, Sri Lanka, and Australia. In Australia, New Zealand will get quite a few cases again, but Australia is what I'm worried about. Darwin, Sydney, again, all the denser populations, so please be careful. It'll be going through, you won't see the noticeable figures because Kim Jong, or whatever his name is not going to reveal them, but I hate to say it, North Korea is going to get hit badly. Korea, and also Vietnam, and Taipei, all of those other places. Russia is going to see pockets and denser infections there, because not exactly they're turning a blind eye, but they can't cope with trying to manufacture a new vaccine for this. The vaccine does not cover it, by the way. This new vaccine is not covering it. That's why I'm really pushing for the adherence to your to a mask. Okay, I see pockets across Europe, and through Middle East, Afghanistan, and all through all of those. Turkey, Spain is going to get hit badly, I'm afraid. France, Belgium, Croatia, Sweden, Switzerland, the Nordic countries really, Belgium, as I said, will get hit, but not so much Switzerland. But Sweden, Norway, they do get, and again in denser populations, please be careful. Germany, that's going to be actually hit more so. England and Scotland, I'm afraid, is going to be hit badly, and that's going to be around July, August. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Great Britain, obviously, the whole of England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, all of those other European countries. So it will be spreading eventually to that side. But this is really a collection and a combination of the strain that's on now, and also by July, August, with the new other strain that I see that's pushing. And it does not have a vaccine. The vaccines won't be, they can build on the existing vaccine, but I see that nothing will be able to be available to cover this new strain until about March for this current vaccine, maybe as early as February. They're having a hard time locating it and identifying it because it has mutated quite a bit, but they used that same vaccine adjusted slightly for the Asian one, and it won't be ready until late September through November. And so there are again different vaccines for this tertiary type of, third one that I'm seeing. So please be careful. I can only warn you about these things. Hopefully people have heard the whole video. I can't make you do anything, and I don't really want you to be scared, but I just want you to be aware and being proactive. That's my only thing that I'm worried about. I'll talk about flooding in Australia and the Pacific later. I do have already projections on that before the end of the year, so I'll do an update for predictions for the world in certain places, not everywhere, in hopefully in a few weeks, like that, maybe a month or two, but because I want to make sure Australia is covered, because I know there are quite a few people who do listen to me there, and they're worried about flooding again. And also I'll try and do the predictions if I hear that people do want the predictions. for next year. Sadly, again, I can't really say I apologize for being right, but I'm sorry that I am. Okay, so lots of blessings. Please keep your faith and do what you can. Be proactive, which I know that people hate this, and we've done it too, is do your will, do your trust. You don't know, you won't have the mindset, you don't have the mind, to be honest, when you're in COVID, to be thinking about wills and trusts. Probate in America is horribly expensive, England too, so please have control. Those who are, I know, who are controllers out there, please have the sense to do it now. You could always change it later, but make sure that you have taken care of everything so you can at least start enjoying your life after all this horrible time and transition passes. Thank you for joining me, and I'm sorry that it is not the best video. I know I'm kind of doom and gloom, but I am also known to all my clients to be brutally honest, but honest, and again, I hope I'm deathly wrong, to be honest, but please look after your loved ones, go and check on them, especially the elderly. It doesn't matter if you haven't heard from them, nag them, go and visit if you can. Be conscientious about other people. It doesn't mean to say they have to be your relatives. They could be people in your community. There are some incredible people out there, other than those incredible angels, all the hospital workers, the doctors, the nurses, the staff, every orderlies, every single one of them are incredible saints, and anybody who's associated with medical. But also those who are assisting the people who don't have money, who don't have food. Please think of the others and be conscientious. It doesn't hurt to give, even if it's just time, if you can't afford anything else. Food from your larder. But just be careful, put things in the freezer so when you're not feeling well. That's why this is a soup that will that I'm going to give on the cooking show. More of a high protein, very high protein, with a lot of anti-inflammatories to bring fevers down, or any your inflammation in your body if you have diabetes or any other inflammatory diseases in your body. Anyway, sorry to go on, as you well know, I do tend to do that. I didn't want to be on camera today, that's why I put this. But hopefully let me know what you think, and please, again, any kind of negative, if it's constructive negative, okay, I'll put it on. But if it's going to be just nasty about what you're, being just ugly and nasty, I'm not going to put it up. I don't care what you think. People know that on me, but if it's helpful to others, yes, thank you. But I am really being tough on those comments as well. Anyway, love and blessings, love, light, keep safe, and through this you will make it. I will have some exercises which I could upload later that would help you calm down and ride the fear. How can you say, it's like the fear loop, I suppose, because it's a loop, literally. It's not even a roller coaster, but it's a roller coaster on a loop. But I'll put up a quick video on that later as well, so that my clients have seen miraculous things. It's on my healing CD that I share with my clients, which I'll put out later if people want it, but quite frankly, it's just a tiny part of the healing CD. So take care, keep safe, hydrate, anti-inflammatory foods, keep safe. Love you. Bye-bye.